We've all heard the plea.
Make a phone call to your senator or representative's office.
Call your rep right now.
Call your senator.
Call our congressman.
Your voice is important.
Send a letter, make a phone call, or record a video, and tell your congressman what you think.
But do most Americans actually do that? And if they do, does it work? What about going to protests, attending town halls, or just plain showing up at your local government official's office? Do any of those things make a difference? Because it seems like we're doing a lot more of it every day. In fact, according to a Washington Post and Kaiser Family Foundation poll, 1 in 5 Americans have protested in the streets or participated in a political rally since the start of 2016. Nearly 20% of them had never protested before. And it doesn't end in the streets.
What we're seeing is tremendous. To give you one data point, one Senate office we worked with saw a 900% increase in constituent communications compared to the year earlier.
That's Bradford Fitch, the president and CEO of the nonprofit Congressional Management Foundation, and they track how constituents communicate with Congress as a measure of civic engagement.
There was one congressional district that we were able to look at and found that in 2001, they got 9,400 emails and letters. Fast forward to 2017, and that same congressional district got 123,000 emails and letters. That's the dramatic increase, more than tenfold increase in constituent engagement over that 16-year period.
So that's a lot of letters and emails, but are they actually having any effect? Fitch calls it clicktivism, and he says it has its limits.
They'll get an email from an association or nonprofit they belong to that says, send this message to Capitol Hill, and they do it, and that's all they do. And that's a disappointment and also a real missed opportunity because citizens, if they did a little more, like individualizing that email and talking about how their family or their business or their trade group is affected in their community, that's what members of Congress are looking for when they interact with citizens.
What about tweeting your senator or congressperson?
Social media is actually a truly effective form of interacting with lawmakers. The ones that are on Twitter and Facebook are monitoring their feeds very carefully. And one of the most effective ways is to react to something the legislator has done. For example, if they make a speech on the floor and they put that on their Twitter feed or their Facebook page, if you react to that, our research shows is just a handful of people, a couple dozen people saying the same message is definitely going to be something that the office pays attention to.
And then there's face-to-face interaction.
So no, I do not believe that healthcare is a basic right.
In my book, we should never, ever cut $1 to somebody like Adam, ever. And I fight.
Before 2016, an average of 20 to 30 people might have shown up at a town hall. In 2017, average attendance was 242 people. So the number of in-person town halls dropped off in 2018. But Fitch says technology is paving the way for new ways for people to make their voices heard anyway.
The average number of people in a telephone town hall meeting now is between 3,000 and 5,000 people. You could, in today's day and age, actually have an entire congressional district on a common internet platform watching the member of Congress, taking online polls. There's some really interesting things that technology does offer that just simply was not available a few years ago.
But perhaps the biggest lesson in all of this is that engaged constituencies are an essential part of democracy.
I have to quote Thomas Jefferson, who said, "We in America do not have a government by the majority. We have a government by the majority who participate." Whether it's voting or writing members of Congress or writing letters to the editor, in our democracy, the tool of accountability that citizens have to keep their elected officials accountable is their own activity, is their engagement.
That was Bradford Fitch, the president and CEO of the Congressional Management Foundation.